verse, number 4. When I remember. When I remember. I'm going to have to build this text in a very unique kind of way, because David is leaving the familiar and moving into the unfamiliar. He's moving in a place that most saints don't make it this far, because of the spirit of discouragement always turn us back, and we never get to that place where we cry deep in our souls and know that Jesus is the rock of ages. We understand that no matter what we're going through, Jesus still got our backs. But David had found this unpredictable place. And it's a time when you are really trying to get a hold to God. It's a time when you really need help for your soul. And yet you cry and you cry again, and it seems like God is not hearing you. But something down on the inside of us that the devil don't know nothing about. When it seems that our hearts are about to fail us, when it seems that our strength is no longer, there's still something down within me. I was going to preach something down within me, because the enemy don't know nothing about this praise I got inside. This joy that the Holy Ghost gave me, that it's not about gifts, it's not about what I got, it's all about what happened at Calvary. And I want you to know, when Jesus washed our sin sick soul, he gave us a hope beyond all hope. And every child of God can enter into this place where David is saying that I begin to thirst for God. When you get in this place, can't nobody do you like Jesus. When you get in this place, phone call just won't do it. You need to hear from the Lord. David is not speaking from a weary perspective, but he's speaking from a perspective of a man and a woman that know God, who really depending upon God. He said, I'm not even looking at what I'm going through. That's not really the issue this morning. But the issue is that God done put something down on the inside of me. And I want to talk to that God, and my soul is thirsting for that God. You don't hear church members say anymore, I need a word from the Lord. I need to hear me a word. Well, when you say that, you're talking about your inner man. You ain't talking about the ear that you have in your head, but you're talking about your soul need to hear from God. And when you're living for God, every now and then, it's all right for the preacher to give you a dynamic message, but every now and then you want to get down on your knees and you want to look up towards heaven and say, God, here is your child, and God, I need to hear a word from the Lord. And Lord, I don't want to worry you long, but I need somebody that says something to my soul. Lord, I'm down here toiling and wearying in life, and I need somebody to talk to my soul and say, Lord, I'm not going to get up from this place until you tell my soul that it's going to be all right. I hear David said, I got thirsty when I got in that realm with God, and my soul began to cry out in me. See, sometimes we're too busy to have our soul to cry out, but I dare you to stop what you're doing and look up towards heaven and say, I'm going to call on him till he hears something from my soul. David said, my soul need to hear a word from the Lord. My soul need to hear his maker. My soul need to hear the living God. My soul need to hear from heaven. I hear Paul say, if this earthly tabernacle be dissolved, we got another building. Stop right there, preacher. This old body, I'm getting a little old. The eyes don't see like they used to. The legs don't go like they used to. But ain't nothing wrong with my soul. My soul is just as strong as it was the day the Lord saved me. My soul is just as excited about Jesus since the day the Lord been acquainted me to the Holy Ghost. David is saying here, I need to get hold to God now. My friends can't help me now. My money can't help me now. My wealth can't help me now. All the pleasures of this life cannot help me now. I thought about many times we seem to get to this point when we on our deathbed. But ain't it a good thing to be up in the land of the living and your soul still thirsting for God? Say, God, I need an answer. I'm not just thirsting for church, but I need to talk to my God. I don't understand saints who can go from week to week and never hear from their God. Every now and then I got to know I'm right. I got to know I'm all right with him. I got to know that he's all right with me. And I cry out unto the Lord and I tell the Lord, oh, search me, Lord, and if you find anything that shouldn't be, I want you to take it out in me, because I want to be right. I want to be whole. Anybody in here ever asked the Lord to just search me, Jesus? I need the Lord to turn the light on from heaven and search me, Lord. Search me, Lord. Search me. Search me, Lord. I know it's a different message. You're not used to coming to God like you ain't right, but search me, Lord. You're not used to coming to God like you made a mistake, but search me, Lord. You're not used to coming to God with your burdens hanging, but search me, Lord. Lord, I want to be right. Sometimes going in and out of this life, we become contaminated with a whole lot of stuff, and sometimes it's just good to just sit down and call on the Lord and just say, God, nobody but me and you. You know what I've been through. You know what I'm going through. You know the victory I'm about to get, but I just want to talk to you. It's all right to talk to my friend, but right now I need to talk to my Jesus. My soul is disquieted in me. It's quiet down in the thunder of my soul, but God is able to say a word in a season for me. Yeah. The devil would like you to believe that the only time that a believer can reach this point is when we are pressed out of bounds, when we got more than we can bear. But I stopped by to tell you, you can get there without the pressures of this life. You can get there by the knowing that I need a God on my side. That every now and then I need to talk to God. Every now and then my soul needs to communicate with God. David did not write about the communication, but I'm surely when he was talking to God, he didn't have to move his mouth in him. It was something on the inside that was talking to the Creator himself. Even though David was going through a lot, he said, I'm in the storm, but now I'm in the eye of God, and God is doing something to my soul. I remember we were going up in the old church when the saints said when you couldn't say a word, all you could do was just wave your hand, and everybody understood when you wave your hand that you were going through waiting on a word from the Lord. David said, in my tears, I know folks don't like to cry, but crying ain't always bad. Crying ain't always bad. The way the eyes are made, we have glands inside of our eyes. They are called tear glands, and they don't always activate because you are sad. But the other day I was walking by in the